Inside the repair shop, the technician begins a restorative cleaning on a Conn Wonder valve trombone, built in 1906. Each slide is carefully degreased, allowing the cleaning agents to reach the metal surface, the horn's first real breath in decades. The technician brushes the instrument in warm, soapy water, removing any loose debris before the chemical bath. It is important to note that because this instrument is plated in silver, the water can be fairly hot, but for any lacquered brass horn, only lukewarm water is safe, as heat can cause the finish to crack and flake away. With every surface prepped and cleared, the instrument is carefully lowered into a chemical bath for a brief soak. The solution is precisely formulated to dissolve the mineral deposits and biofilm that have built up within the tubing over decades of use. The chemical is strong enough to break down residue, yet gentle enough that it won't harm the base metal or the instrument's finish. As it rests beneath the surface, microscopic reactions release years of buildup invisible to the naked eye. After this short immersion, the horn will return to the warm, soapy water, where the loosened deposits will be carefully brushed away and rinsed off. Back at the bench, the technician mounts a specialized tool into the vise, steadying the slide for one of the most meticulous steps in the process. A long strip of flat cotton wicking is gently pulled over the inner slide tubes, ready to bring new life to the aged metal. The wicking is coated in jeweler's rouge, a fine iron oxide compound used for centuries in the crafting of fine jewelry to create a flawless gleam. Here, that same material is used to polish over the surface of the inner slide tube, smoothing away oxidation and wear until the slide tube once again reflects a soft, gleam glow, ready to glide with effortless precision. The bell section is mounted onto a tapered wooden mandrel. A large piece of cheesecloth infused with jeweler's rouge is drawn carefully over the metal surface. The technician applies only the slightest pressure necessary to bring out the shine, just enough to polish without risking the delicate solder joints that hold the structure together. But not every repair endures. A joint gives way, revealing an old brace that isn't original to the instrument, soldered poorly sometime in its long history. Still, this setback becomes an opportunity. a chance to demonstrate how a proper solder repair can be made, ensuring this horn will endure for another 100 years of music. He starts by melting and wiping away the old solder. Then he carefully uses a small strip of sandpaper to gently remove any tinned solder remaining and scoring the surface so the new solder has something to grip onto. Then the tubing is delicately bent back into place before adding a few drops of flux that will further clean the surface and pull the solder into the joint. The flame is brought near the brace until the two parts are sufficiently hot enough to melt solder. Once the surface is hot enough, the solder is brought to touch where the two parts meet. After the melted solder has filled the space between the two parts, it is quenched with water. It's time to polish the body. The body of the instrument is gently supported by the bench as the technician uses a cheesecloth imbued with jeweler's rouge to get into every crevice of the instrument for a clean shine. At the polishing lathe, the buffing wheel is combed of any debris before it is used to polish the bare metal. Rouge is then added to the wheel. This mouthpiece is carefully pressed against the spinning wheel to gently remove any tarnish without removing the silver plating on top. Then each top and bottom valve cap are polished. The final step of this partial restoration is the assembly of the horn. A heavy oil is applied to the top and bottom caps to prevent corrosion. The proper thickness of valve felts and corks are added to make sure the piston goes up and down the correct distance so the instrument ports properly. The piston face and surface of inner slide tubes are coated in fully synthetic valve oil and slide grease for ease of motion and to prevent corrosion. And finally, a new water key cork is installed in the main tuning slide. With this instrument back in proper playing condition, it is ready to speak for the first time in decades. Like and subscribe for more adventures in the repair shop.